Hey, what's up? It's Karen San Diego. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. If you are new to my channel, I lost over 100 pounds with VSG surgery and I document my life. Today, we're gonna do like a chit chat, get ready with me type video. I'm about to get ready to film. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm about to film another video, which is an excited one because we're going to be starting our 75 soft challenge. So I'm gonna do a video about that and I wanted to do my makeup for that. So let's just get into this video. And in this video specifically, I wanted to really just talk about like just something that's been on my mind. I'm the type of person that literally I will just be laying in bed, on the toilet, in the shower, like literally doing the most random things. And then these just pretty, not invasive thoughts, but just these really random things just pop into my head where I feel like almost therapy is happening like within my own head. Like I'm not talking to anyone, but I have these aha moments. And the one I wanted to talk to you about was one that like I'm just curious to know if anybody else experiences the same thing. There's a piece to this that might be pretty specific to me because of what I do as a content creator, but I think most people, even if you don't create content, you might have experienced this. And what I'm referring to is the comment that a lot of people tend to make where it's just like, like they'll either say like you looked better before, or they'll be like, looks good both ways. Like that's more so the one I'm talking about. Like when people are like, you looked good before and after. Either way, still beautiful. And the thing about that comment that's like, I don't think it's meant in a bad way. And the thing is, it's the type of thing that I don't know that I've heard that like in person. I know some of you have mentioned people in your real life saying that. I haven't experienced that in my actual life, but I hear it a lot like when I post before and after videos online, because that's like one of my favorite type of videos to create is like the before and after type video. I'm trying to like show you what I'm using as I'm using it, but I'll try to link everything below just so that I can talk without losing my train of thought. But I post a lot of before and after videos, and because of that, people will often comment, oh, you look good both ways, beautiful before, beautiful after. And I have been experiencing that since I pretty much posted my first before and after video. And almost immediately, like since I first heard that beautiful before, beautiful after comment, I feel like I have always rolled my eyes at that comment and like low-key been kind of offended by it. Which is funny because if you've been following me for a while and pay attention to like my comment section, I don't get a lot of negative comments, to be honest, and I'm really grateful for that because I've seen that some people's comment sections can get pretty nasty. And I'll say that honestly, my comments, they keep it cute. They keep it cute in my comments. For whatever reason, I honestly don't know how I'm able to avoid extreme negativity. But regardless, my comments are pretty calm, but every now and then people get rude. And when that happens, I'm not someone who typically responds to negative comments, mostly just because I feel like I don't need to give my energy to that. Like I feel like your energy flows to what you give, what you feed into. And if I'm to feed into those type of comments, that I'm feeding into that energy, and like, no thank you. So I see it, just kind of keep scrolling. But the thing is, the you looked better before or looks better both ways comment, I actually don't think it's meant to be negative. Like I'm pretty like 99% sure that 99% of the people who comment that are commenting it in a positive way. Like they're meaning to be nice. But I don't take it that way. Like I genuinely take offense to it and always have. And I've just recently, like I told you, I was like in the bathroom or something and I just was thinking and I was wondering like, why is it that that comment gets under my skin in the way that it does? Like I don't feel like the fact that I know that it was not meant in a negative way, yet even though me saying, yeah, it's not meant in a negative way, I still take offense to it and I'm aware that I take offense to it. I find that to be odd because that's not a normal personality trait of mine. But once again, if you've been following me, I've been doing this type of content online for like 2 years now, and the whole time it's always bothered me. Always bothered me. But I never thought much of it. And if I told you, not if I told you, I mentioned in one of my recent updates that the concealer was Makeup by Mario, by the way. I mentioned in one of my recent updates that I recently started going to therapy. And I think therapy is something that helped with this. And I haven't talked to my therapist about this specifically, but something that I've noticed about myself since going to therapy was just taking a lot more time to stop and think about the why behind my actions instead of just looking at like what it is I'm doing or what it is that I'm feeling. So even without having to talk to my therapist about this specific thing, I still feel like I've been able to kind of look within and try to figure out what's going on. So that brings me to the day I was in the bathroom. I don't remember if I was on the toilet or in the shower. Not that that fact matters. Maybe you want to know. I don't know. I was either on the toilet or in the shower. And I was thinking about that comment because I had just recently gotten one at the time. And I was wondering, like, why is it bothering you the way that it's bothering you? Like, it really, like, if you know that something was not meant to be hurtful and you know that this person is actually trying to pay you a compliment, why is it that this comment gets under your skin? And when I say it gets under my skin, it's like I read it and I'm immediately like, shut up. Or like it's an eye roll. It's like a F you. Like, I don't like the comment. Well, didn't at the time. So yeah, in the bathroom, I'm like, why is it that I feel that way? Like, I had to really stop and think about that. And I came to the conclusion that it's not that I'm actually offended by that comment at all. It's that I'm jealous. Like, I'm jealous of people who look at my before pictures and see beauty in that, because I was never able to look at myself at 283 pounds and see any sort of beauty in that person. And I think that it's a mixture of jealousy. Like, I'm jealous of people who can see beauty in me before. That mixed with a bit of like, I don't believe you. Like, I don't believe that you see that person as beautiful because I didn't see that person as beautiful. And when someone is saying something like that to you, calling me beautiful in my before stage at a time where I felt anything but beautiful, it's really hard to accept that that could be coming from a good place, even if you know that they're likely coming from a good place. It's just like, I don't believe it. And then once I don't believe it, it makes me feel like you're coming from a bad place. Like, you have bad intentions behind why you're saying that. And then I'm like, oh, like they're trying to discredit where I'm at now, but that's not it. It's really a mixture of the fact that I'm jealous of the fact that I think that they're lying. So if you're lying, screw you, right? And then if you're not lying, I'm jealous that you see something that I never could see. Because honestly, when I think back to me at 283 pounds, I remember really, really wanting to like get on the body positive wave and really, really embrace myself at that size. Like, just like wear the outfits I wanted to wear, regardless of how I felt my body looked. I wanted to just walk and hold my head high with confidence, regardless of the weight that I was. Like, I see online a lot of girls who are bigger and in my opinion look great, and in their opinion look great as well. They have confidence, but honestly, like, no matter how hard I wanted to be that girl, that just wasn't the case for me. I've just never been the person that was like really, really confident in myself regardless of my size. Like, I've always been more confident at a smaller size, and it just wasn't me, but I wanted it to be, because in my mind, that's true confidence. When you can be confident in yourself regardless of anything, that's how you know that you're really, really confident. So that's always been my goal, to be confident no matter what. We're not there. We're not there. Not in the confident no matter what phase anyway. But regardless, yes, that's where I wanted to be. but I never got there. And to like take it all the way back, I've done a video about this before, and I went into like more of a deep dive on how dramatically insecure I was on TikTok. But I know not all of you have TikTok, so to just do a little bit of a background on that, the history with me is I was a small child, right? Like I was a thin child. I was I was pretty active as a child. I did like dance classes and things like that. So that kept me pretty small until around the point where I hit puberty. And once I hit puberty, I started to gain weight. And that was fine. Only thing is that I quickly noticed that the other girls in my dance class who also were hitting puberty, they didn't seem to be gaining weight in the same way that I was. And for a little bit of perspective, prior to me hitting puberty and gaining weight, I'd be in the front of routines, I had good placement, and then I noticed that the bigger I got, the further to the back of different placements when we were doing dances, the further back I got. And then I started to notice my dance teachers making little comments about my weight. That paired with the fact that I no longer was dancing in the front, it very quickly, and like I was a child, so I wasn't like verbalizing this, but it created this idea in my mind that like the bigger I was, the less worthy of attention that I was, really. Because I noticed that bigger meant get to the back. Bigger meant people were going to comment on that. Bigger meant you weren't seen as one of the special, the pretty girls. I was able to associate that from a very young age, and it got to me. Then I started, I think at that point I was getting ready for middle school. In middle school, I was an innocent kid, so it wasn't like I was doing anything, but I noticed that boys really liked the girls who were smaller, and I noticed that attention wasn't something that I was receiving. And then as I got older, high school, college, I noticed that that never stopped. Like, the girls who were smaller always seemed to get more attention than the girls who were bigger. And that just really embedded that insecurity into me in a way that I wish it hadn't at such a young age. Because I feel like sometimes the people who, mind you, I don't know this because I haven't like done a deep dive on every single person who actually is bigger and confident. But I feel like a lot of the time, like that type of confidence doesn't just like blossom out of thin air. Like that confidence comes from being built in you from a young age to where you get older and you're able to look past all of the things that society teaches you about what's beautiful. But being Caribbean, when you are Caribbean, and for those of you who do not know, I'm from Grenada. When you are from the Caribbean, weight is something that is brought up a lot. It's a thing to where like if you know you're going down there and you know you haven't seen like family members or people in general in a long time, you don't want to be bigger because they're going to tell you. Like it'll be things like Caribbean people have a way of referring to you based off your weight that also like isn't great. Like something like your big daughter, like something like that. Which one? The big one? Like, you know, like stuff like that. To where like from a young age, you're starting to be very, very aware that something is different about you from your weight because of your weight, and it's not a positive thing. And I don't think it's necessarily done in a way that is meant to be malicious, to be honest. I think that's just the way it is. But the consequence of that is insecurities. Insecurities based off of weight that do not need to be there. And it wasn't like coming from like inside, like as far as like my parents or anything like that. Like they didn't make me feel that way, but society did. And because of that, with my daughter, now that I'm a mom, I'm trying my best to be very cautious. Like Ryan doesn't go to any dance classes or anything like that. Not because I'm like so traumatized that I didn't put her in it, but just because she's just not that type of girl. Like, she's not into that kind of thing, so she doesn't go to any dance classes. But in general, in just trying to navigate through life, having a child, I'm trying to be very, very, this is Merit Blush, I'm trying to be very, very cautious of how I speak to her about her body and how I speak to her about food in general. I don't really have a lot of knowledge on this point. That's not something that was taught to me, so I don't always know exactly how to do it. What I try to do as it pertains to food is I try to offer her healthy options, but also keep both in the house. So she has access to healthy food. She has access to unhealthy food. I don't necessarily like limit what she can eat. She has the ability to go into the pantry and get whatever it is that she is craving, because I'm trying to not build a association with food for her to where she sees food as good or bad. Like, I want her to see food as food. And I think that that is something potentially that could help her just build a healthy relationship with food. She has like books and stuff about nutrition to help her understand like what healthy foods are. But I'm not like overly like, you can't have this type of food because you're gonna gain weight. Like, I don't ever say things like that to her. I don't even know if she has that concept in her head. But she naturally doesn't, like, she has like a decent amount of snacks throughout the day, but she doesn't eat that much in general. So I'm trying not to police her with food and then getting her to a point where she has a bad relationship with food. And then also when it comes to talking to her about her body, I try not to do that. Like, I try not to create any sort of insecurities in her. Like, I know that I can't control what happens once she is like in school, because she's still in preschool. But when next year she's going to kindergarten, and once she's in school, I can't control what happens when I'm not there. But what I can do is try my best to, while I keep using stuff and not showing you what it was. That was setting powder. I can't be there all the time. So I have to, while she's still just here with me, I have to try my best to instill confidence in her. I tell her that she's beautiful every single day, like 1,000 times a day, to the point where now, like, her rebuttal is always like, and I'm smart. Because I guess she's like, girl, you telling me I'm beautiful way too much. Calm down. But I'm just trying so hard to make sure that I build a daughter with confidence, because that is the thing. Like, I didn't have that. Like, I was not confident. I'm still not the most confident person. I'm working on it. I'm trying to free myself from the negative self-talk, because I am the queen of talking negatively about myself. And I really hate that for me. I genuinely hate that for me. And especially as it pertains, I'm trying to take the plastic off of this one size setting powder, but it's fighting me, because I just bought this from the Sephora sale. I'm trying to limit the negative self-talk and trying to do the work to actually, like, I've lost over 100 pounds, 100 and something pounds at this point, and I'm not done. I'm still transforming. Like, I'm done losing weight for the most part, but as far as like transforming my body, like, I'm still on that journey. And I didn't come this far to get this far and still be still lack confidence. Like, that's not, how do you even use this? That's not what I want for myself. So I want to be better in that respect. Also, I want to have a better relationship with the old version of myself. Like, I don't like how negatively I speak about old me, because it's not fair. Like, that version of me, while no, I wasn't the size I wanted to be, I still feel like I should be able to look back and still see beauty in that person, which is why. And the fact that I don't bothers me. The fact that I don't bothers me. The fact that I didn't bothers me, because at that time, I'm definitely the type of person who, I don't always vocalize everything that I'm thinking, but the time period from when I met Chad to when I had, to when I had Ryan. Actually, no, from when I met Chad to when I had Ryan, and then when I had Ryan to when I had surgery. More so the time period of when I had Ryan to when I had surgery, my self-esteem was in the garbage can, which is how I ended up getting as big as I did. Because when I had met Chad, I was just like, I had just lost a little bit of weight. I was probably like 180, 190 pounds or something like that. But in the time period from me meeting Chad, having Ryan to right before surgery, I had gained a shit. Like I had went from like 190 to 280. And that's insane. And a good chunk of that was pregnancy. There was also my PCOS diagnosis happened in there. So that helped make some sense of why things were happening the way that they were. But it didn't make full sense to me because I'm like, I be eating, but I don't be eating like that. Like, you know, like it never made sense to me why I was as big as I was. Like until I got diagnosed with PCOS, it never fully made sense because while yes, I eat, I never overindulged in the way, let me not say that. That would be a lie. I did overindulge, but I don't feel like I overindulged more than everybody else that I would be around who was not gaining that weight. So my PCOS diagnosis really helped make sense of that, which is part of what led me to get surgery because I felt like at that point, like I was fighting it was a losing war. I was not going to win that battle the way I was going about things. That went on strong. I was not going to win that battle the way that I was going about it, and surgery really did help me be able to work through that and still go ahead and lose weight regardless of having PCOS. But I think what I didn't anticipate that ended up being the case was how much mental work was going to be necessary after the fact, after I've already lost the weight, to be able to actually find true happiness and true confidence. Because I think people are under the assumption that you're gonna lose weight and automatically you were an insecure person before, you're gonna lose 100 pounds and now boom, confidence. Like I wish that was the case. I wish you just woke up confident, everything was grand, and that's just how this worked. But that's truthfully just not how it works. Like I did not just wake up and become confident out of nowhere. I wish that was the case, but that's genuinely not what happened. I did not wake up confident. I'm still not where I would like to be confidence-wise, but that's okay. That's why when we talk about VSG, we talk about it as a journey, and it's not just like get surgery and everything is great. It's not get surgery and then you just lose weight. It's not any of those things. Like it's truly, truly a journey. Like I'm still finding out things about myself that I did not know. I'm still learning how to navigate this new version of myself. I'm still learning in so many ways that really prove that this really is about a journey, and it's not, you don't get surgery and then all of a sudden you're just, everything is just great. Your health is great. Your eating is great. Your relationship with food is great. Your relationship with the scale is great. Your relationship with your past self is great. None of that happens so quickly. It really is a journey, and it really does take time to get to a place where you really feel like you're healed. And spoiler alert, I'm not sure that you ever really get to a place where you're like complete. Like I think it's called a VSG journey because you're kind of on this forever journey where you're forever finding these new things that you did not know, that you're starting to learn about yourself. You're forever going to be adapting. Going from weight loss mode to maintenance mode is a very big adjustment. Starting your journey in the gym is a very big adjustment. It's all like such an adjustment that like you really have to be prepared for, and have to understand that if you're doing this in order to just snap your fingers and be good, Like, you just, like, listen, Linda, listen. It's not going to work out that way. It's just not going to work out that way. And although that can seem a little bit nerve-wracking, I actually think that that's one of the more beautiful things about this journey is how much it changes. Like, there's never a dull day. I have never gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, this is smooth sailing. There's nothing else to know. I've learned everything that I need to learn. Like, that doesn't happen. I've never gotten to that place. I don't think anybody does. If they tell you they did, I don't think they're telling the truth. Things are constantly changing, and that's okay. But the place in my journey that I would truly, truly love to reach is the place in my journey where I feel so much confidence in myself that I can see the beauty in who I was before and what I looked like before, and to be able to truly wholeheartedly see the beauty in myself regardless of what size I am. Like I said, I think that is true confidence, and that's where I want to reach. I truly want to get to the point where I am not offended by people's kind words offending me, instead of me being able to welcome that with open arms. I truly don't want to be that kind of person anymore. And I'm so glad for my moments in the bathroom to open up my eyes to something that I have been thinking for so long. That comment has been bothering me for so long without me actually doing the work to sit down and think, why does this bother me? And me being able to come to the conclusion that that comment was bothering me due to my own insecurities that I still have in my past self, and that unresolved tension for me, and the fact that I just did not feel beautiful at that size. It is difficult to believe that anybody else would, but I want to take that out of my head. I'm a strong believer in a lot of the feelings that we feel are not real. Like, we are telling ourselves lies that are stopping us from greatness. And the only person that has the control to change the narrative of the way that we feel about ourselves is us. And although when I'm talking about this feeling of insecurity, I'm talking mostly about my former self that was 283 pounds. And mark my words, I am never going to be 283 pounds again. I'm just not. But regardless, I had to really stop and think about me now at like 170 pounds. How do I feel about myself right now, truly? And truthfully and honestly, I could be more confident now. I still have a lot of moments of insecurity that I would like to not have. I think I blocked so many of my own blessings because of my insecurities that are so unfounded. I've come so far. When I have those moments where I feel confident, I feel so amazing. And it feels so nice to really feel that way. But then I have days when I don't feel that way. And on those days, I want to work harder at like really just stopping and being like, girl, shut up. I even had to realize that although the feeling was coming from the way I was feeling about my old self, me still now in this body, I still have a hard time accepting compliments. I still have a hard time always seeing reality when I look in the mirror. I still struggle with body dysmorphia. And I had to really stop and realize that the only person that is causing this is me. That I have to stop and think, no, that isn't true. When I'm looking in the mirror and I'm seeing a version of myself that isn't realistic to what I actually look like, I have to stop and look in that mirror again and be like, no, that isn't true. And I need to point out the things to myself that I see that I do believe are beautiful, and really work on building that confidence. I think there's this idea that after surgery, confidence will come with time. And I think that that is BS. I think confidence doesn't come with time. I think it's work. You have to work to build that back up. And the one way that I'm working to build that back up, and I recommend that anybody who is struggling with this like I do, work to build it back up, is by putting yourself in situations where you are going to be uncomfortable. And that goes for whether you are bigger or you're smaller, or it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. It doesn't matter if you're on a weight loss journey at all. The way to truly build up that confidence is to put yourself in situations that you feel too insecure to put yourself in. Take the pictures, take the videos, post it, go to events, go outside, wear the outfits, do all the things that scare you, and do it so much with your head held high to the point where you convince yourself that you're confident. I always think about this interview Rihanna did where they're like, what do you do on the days where you don't feel confident? And Rihanna looks at the camera and goes, pretend. And that like is ingrained in my mind because I'm like, look, on the days where I'm not gonna feel it every single day, but on the days where I'm not feeling it, I'm gonna pretend. And as I continue to do this work, I'm especially going to zone in and focus in on 283-pound version of myself. At that time, I gave her no love. So retroactively, I want to work on loving on that version of myself and really giving her the love that I wasn't able to give her at that point in time, while simultaneously learning how to love this new version of myself so that I can build confidence that is truly confident, because no matter what stage of life I'm in, I know that I'm the shit and I'm gonna love on myself regardless. But all right, I hope you found this video helpful. The face is beats. And I'm about to go record video number 2. I think I'm gonna put that video up before this video. So if you've already watched that video about the 70s 5 soft challenge that I'm going to be doing, hopefully you're doing it with me. Part of that challenge is posting 2 videos in a week. So this is gonna be video number 2 for this week. So I'm really focused on keeping going with this. I think another thing with confidence is built through also showing up for yourself consistently. And that is my goal, and not just my goal, that is my mission. I'm sticking to it, and let's see where this journey takes us. If you enjoyed this format of video, I actually love doing this. I love doing my makeup. I'm a makeup girl. I have lots of makeup. I'm gonna just toggle here so you can see what I'm working with. I have all my makeup right here as I'm recording this for you. I would love to do more videos where I sit down and do my makeup and talk. I'd love to know some other topics you'd like me to talk about while I do my makeup. Just put those down below in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.
Where in the world is Karen San Diego? From BK to Belly, it's anywhere she say so. She changing your life, can see it straight through her eyes.